What up guys, it's Dustin, Nostalgia Hot Rods. You're back for episode 4. We're here checking out what we got done in the last 30 days. Since we're here in the fab shop already, I thought we'd bring you over to a brand new build we're getting started for our customer Hayden. 68 Dodge Charger. We got this thing in a couple weeks ago, got it out, got it apart, got it out to media blast, brought it back yesterday, epoxy primered it. So reason we do that, when you go bare steel, right? If you don't do an acid etch primer and then an epoxy primer, rust may occur years down the road and the bodywork may fail. So we always make sure we get everything primed and 100% sealed before we start fabrication. So of course, wide body from front fender into door, from door into rear quarter panel. As you can see, the rear quarter panels are cut off. Reason being, they were completely rotted out. Why media blast a rotted out panel? So we're hand making new quarter panels, hand making front fenders, hand making the center sections of the door. This thing is gonna be super cool, man. It's going on a Speed Tech chassis. It's a brand new product they just came out with. Full independent rear suspension, independent front suspension. Thing's getting a 900 horse Hellcat Red Eye.
Very nice.
Man, this car is gonna be so cool. I think this is gonna get a set of the Nostalgia Hot Rod Series wheels from Compression. So yeah, man, brand new build. You know, keep watching for this one, man. This thing is gonna be like our 66 Chevelle, man. It's just gonna be out of this world. Moving on to the next one. This one, the last time we were here, we had the body sitting over here. We were kind of starting on a chassis. So 30 days later, chassis is underway. LSK, full long travel, ADS, coilovers, front, rear, long travel rear, 565 horse LS3, 4L80. And this thing is gonna be so cool. Holley, Terminator X, Holley, digital screen, the 12.3, full roll cage, canvas top. We're going with a Lambo dark green on this thing with a black canvas top, man. I think this thing is gonna be so cool. Vintage air. This thing's going down to Mexico, so the guy wants this thing to be able to run Baja if he wants. So that's what we're doing, man. It's gonna be super sick with the method wheels, beadlocks, running a 35-inch Toyo. We're probably a year away from finishing this one up, but I was just told that I gotta have it done by SEMA. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but we'll give it hell. Yeah, man, keep on rolling to the next. All right, cruising on over to the C2 Vet. We started this one about 60 days ago. We got our Nostalgia Hot Rods chassis all done underneath. Got our floors installed. This thing will be equipped with a set of HRE full carbon barrel wheels. We actually just placed the order. I just met the customer for the first time. So this customer's from Atlanta, Georgia. Never been into the shop before. We just started on this thing 60 days ago. It was his first time here. Barrett Jackson's in town, so he's in town. And he loved the progress and just told me to order a set of full carbon HRE H100s. So gonna be super cool. We got our Nostalgia Hot Rods chassis underneath here. We have a Scott's Hot Rods IFS going in it. Wet sump LS7, Tremec T56, 325s in the rear, 295s on the front. No big body mods on this one. It's just gonna be a super clean, tight car.
Tight.
Hey guys, here in the paint booth, gonna show you the 1972 Porsche 914 wide body twin turbo LSX. So to kind of go over it, man, we got Freddie here right now laying out the stripes, putting a little bit of graphic down the side in a voodoo orange. It's an original Porsche color, like 2020, 2021. But dude, let me explain what's been done to this Porsche. It's like no other Porsche. Widened the front of the body 14 inches, widened the back of the body 16 inches, made a full body kit, if you will, all the way around. The entire nose is handmade. The entire back end is handmade. Full carbon roof, carbon dash, it'll be carbon A-pillars. Man, this thing is just gonna be super cool. Oh, the side scoops, right? Basically where the intercoolers sit, we built a full carbon side scoop. We've added this lip basically all the way around the car, all the way to the rocker, goes all the way around the entire car. Custom grills, 997, 996 suspension and brakes, off like 2000 Porsche. Full carbon dash, carbon door panels, Holley digital screen. Man, this thing is just a lot of hours, man. We've been working on this car almost 7 years, and not because we've been working on it the whole time. We came up with ideas, built Alan 2 more cars since we've started this car. But man, now we're in paint, and 30 days from now we'll be in final assembly, and the car will actually be going together. I hope in the next 70 to 80 days this thing is test driving down the road. Maybe interior not finished, but driving. So it's going to be super cool. Flush mount glass, front windshield. There is no back window really. It's just a flat panel. It's very small, kind of like a Pantera. Now there's something that's different that we did on this is we did an air to water intercooler setup for the intake manifold, and we did an air to air for the turbos to keep that motor cool, keep that charge cool, right? To make more power.
I'm so cold.
Just the flush mount glass, we chopped the roof 1.5 inches, so we had to make door glass. I mean, just everything about this thing is one-off, right? Especially with a 914, it's basically a glorified Volkswagen. But man, it's gonna be a super cool car when it's done. The rear air diffuser, super cool. The rear bumper and how the exhaust is all tied in with the blow-off valves, so we could shoot flames. Dude, it's gonna be a super cool car. The way we reversed the hood in the back, just keep an eye out, man. This thing will be done in probably the next 6 months, and it'll be a showstopper. All right, guys, back over here, 56 Bel Air, kind of educating a little bit on a 3-stage paint job, right? So you do all your body work, right? From sheet metal to your high build primer to your final prime, and you got hundreds of hours of block sanding, making these panels as straight and crisp as possible. Well, then when you're ready, you're gonna wet sand that, and then you're gonna put your base coat on, which is this here. Then you're gonna put a top coat on, which is your 2nd stage, which is here, and then your clear coat, your 3rd stage. So to get a little bit more in depth on that, this color is called Nostalgia Hot Rods Red from RM. And dude, it's just a very time-consuming process. So on this one here, after you lay down your base coat, we clear coat it, we come back and wet sand it, spend 200 hours on that, wet sanding it, getting it absolutely perfect before we put the top coat on. It's a little bit different. Most people, they'll throw their base coat down, wait for your flash times, come back, throw your top coat on, come back, throw your clear coat on. Well, to get them to look the way we do here at Nostalgia Hot Rods is, now we clear them, right? You're gonna block sand this, wet sand it, get it absolutely flat, find any imperfections, fix those imperfections, and then put your top coat on. And at $2,500 a gallon for a top coat, man, that's why we clear it. That's why we take the time to find these imperfections, because man, nobody wants to find an imperfection after you clear over your top coat that you just spent $2,500 a gallon on, which a typical car will take 2 gallons, right? So you're $5,000 in just top coat. I mean, in product in this car, there's $15,000 in product in this car. And some people are like, oh man, my buddy can paint a 3-stage paint job for $2,500. Man, them days are long gone, man. To do this quality of work, man, you're gonna spend 60 to 100K on body and paint. So yeah, and when this thing's done, man, it's gonna show the depth of the paint is gonna be amazing. The panels are gonna be so straight. Man, watch out for this thing at Good Guys next year, SEMA. This car will be all over the place. All right, guys, over here in the finish shop, last month, we had the Apache sitting over in the showroom and we were kind of just assembling sheet metal. So here we are 30 days later, truck's fully wired, plumbed, brake lines, fuel lines, radiator, heat exchanger, blower, engine's wired. I mean, everything, right? Where you can see some wires hanging out of the front end there. We got Dapper lights going in it. Right now, man, we're building a power steering reservoir and heat exchanger reservoir. We actually already built it. We're just changing up some fittings, welding some stuff, getting that all put together so we can get this thing fired up, man. Man, this is gonna be such a cool truck when it's all said and done, man. Roadster shop chassis, LSA, I mean, thing's gonna be nasty. Reclaimed bedwood, man. Starting that early next week, getting that going together. Justin's got interior being built for this thing now. Dude, running JL audio, the stereo system in this thing's gonna be sick. Every aspect of this truck, right? You got this old patinaed rusty truck, but everything underneath is just amazing. Yeah, man, the next 30 days, you guys come back, this thing should be driving, doing burnouts. So yeah, moving on to the next one. All right, we're over here at the 56 F-100, building this for my buddy Cameron Montgomery. We're just about wrapped up, man. I think the last time we were here, we were installing bed, rear fenders, steps. Now we're fully wired. It's running, driving. It's fully plumbed lines. I mean, we're ready to go. We're waiting on a couple headlight rings to get our Dapper lights in there. We got Conrad here working on the door poppers. Bedwood's across the street, drying, so we can get the bedwood in. And man, we're wrapping interior panels. This thing is, I hope to have this thing done in the next 30 days. I always say that, but this one I hope we're done. Kind of go over it, man. We got 427 Ford, 4L80E with an adapter plate from Ford to Chevy. Dude, this thing, I mean, laying the floor, right? Like, you get a sheet of paper underneath the step and that's about it, man. You know, we touched base on this the last episode, how we tipped the front fender and stretched the front fender to make that front rocker lay on the ground. So when it's laid out, every aspect of the truck is laying on the ground. Widening the rear fender, man, and stretching it that 4 inches really gave it that look, man, and shaving the drip rail and tipping that roof down a little bit that we did, man, it made such a big difference on this thing. For an F-100, man, I really think this is one of the nicest stanced F-100s out there, man. I want to be biased because we built it, but man, I've been following these trucks for a long time and I was so excited to build this thing just because I've never done a 56, I've done a 54, but man, this truck's gonna be super cool and we should have it done in 30 days or so. We're here at the 69 Camaro, man. We've been building this for Travis Carella for like the last 16 months. Just about wrapped up. We're 3 weeks away from doing burnouts, maybe 2 weeks away. We're literally waiting on a couple interior panels to be finished up. We're stitching and wrapping, and the reason it's taking a little bit longer, man, we decided to change some stuff up as we were going, so a little bit more time. Freddie's over there cutting and buffing the hood. We'll get that back on next week. We got the badass forge lines coming in, black triple bronze, 19s, 20s, running a 345 in the rear, 265 up front. The stance is gonna be killer on this thing, man, with the extended rockers, rear air diffuser, the custom splitter we did in the back, with the air diffuser in the front. Just so much sheet metal modification in this car with the engine bay and custom cowl panel and shaven drip rails and, you know, C6 door handles. Man, I mean, just so much cool things going on with this. again, going back to the paint thing, I was talking, actually that Bel Air we were just talking about, that's Travis Carella's. This is a 3-stage as well. This thing is Battleship Gray with a, it's brandy wine mixed into the clear. A little bit different how you do that, but that's what will give it the depth and the lines out in the sun, man. The lines will be so crisp and black. But yeah, man, this car is gonna be cool with the triple bronze, 427, T56, big Willwoods, Schwartz tubular chassis. Man, this car is gonna rip. It's gonna be a, for sure, a street machine. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today for episode 4. Man, I could have talked another hour and a half, but nobody wants that. So come watch the next episode. Being 30 days away, both of these will be 100% done. Remember to like, subscribe, comment. Thanks, guys. Later.